News, a Goldman Sachs executive is suing because he was fired for being too gay. The former vice president says he was kept off a client call because, quote, he sounded too gay on the phone. He also claims a supervisor asked him, quote, what's wrong with you? Do you act this way because you're gay? Goldman Sachs officials said the lawsuit was without merit. Just to give the other side, Goldman Sachs is well known in the investment world as being a very progressive place to work. They have very progressive LGBT policies in place. So it's not like Goldman Sachs to do this, but they're saying...
Let me pose a question, and I don't know what happened, but we talked about this earlier. What if he's he's mad about being fired or something happened, and he does happen to be gay? What happens there? And then he's kind of igniting this conversation.
That's why this is such a tough thing, because there are people, and like I'm an African American male. If I got fired from,
no, I'm just kidding.
I don't want to. I'll slow down. If there could be like if somebody didn't know the inner workings or the dynamics. Let's say I was late for work 5 days in a row, which I've done. And they let me go. If I then say I was let go because I was black, somebody that didn't know DBL, I can't imagine there are any such people, but if somebody didn't know the show and they're just reading this from 100 miles away, they might be like, see, you see what they did? So you really don't know unless you're in the inner workings. I hope that he was fired for being bad at his job, not because he was gay.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. What was his numbers? Because what would you say earlier? When it comes to business, the only color that they see is what?
Green.
Green.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. I feel as though, and I'm not trying to back Goldman Sachs or anything, but
we're not backing anybody.
They are progressive when it comes to this. I mean, they cover people's sexual reassignment surgery for their employees. They also have 5% of their partners have been identified as LGBTQ.
But remember that in this case, when it goes to the court case, just to get it in your head, the prosecutor has the burden of the proof to say, hey, there's evidence that you discriminated against me, particularly because I was gay. That's in their court. But so they have that responsibility.
Right. And I'm not saying it might have happened too. Exactly. I'm just posing the question.
Yeah. And just that thing where he's saying like, oh, they say I sounded too gay. It could have been a client that could be a really conservative client, and they wanted to lock that money down, and they could have been like, hey, we're going to go with Jeff instead of you, Al, because maybe Jeff has...
Know that you can't say to someone, you sound too gay, or do you're too gay. That is completely
He could have taken it like that. Who knows? You know, I'm just throwing out hypotheticals, playing both sides.
Yeah.
It's going to be something we're going to have to sit and wait and hear. But since this is the month, this is Pride Month, this is what's blowing up, and this is what's coming to the light. This stuff actually happens.
And that's why Pride parades actually matter.